What if I told you there was a simple map for navigating life, for all the tricky, challenging parts? Well, in this explainer, we're going to dive into a really powerful tool that just does that. It comes from a type of psychology called ACT, or acceptance and commitment therapy. So think about the last time you called a rideshare, right? It's super simple. You pull out your phone, open the app, pop in where you want to go, and boom, a car shows up. It's pretty much effortless. But here's the thing, the one piece of information you absolutely need is the destination. Without it, the driver has no idea where to take you, and you're just stuck. Everything kicks off with knowing where you're headed. Okay, so stick with me here. Imagine for a second, what if living the life you actually want to live was that straightforward? What if it was really just a matter of knowing your destination and making a few clear choices? Well, according to this ACT approach, it kind of is. Picture your life as this big journey. You're in the driver's seat, and every single day, you're making choices that either steer you closer to a life that feels meaningful or, well, further away from it. And this brings us to the big idea for today, the choice point. Now, this isn't some huge, dramatic, once-a-year decision. Nope, it's a fork in the road that shows up constantly, all day long, moment after moment. So what is a choice point? It's basically any moment where you have a choice about what to do next. You can act in a way that moves you toward the kind of person you want to be, or you can act in a way that moves you away from that person. Simple as that. Let's break that down. You've got two kinds of moves you can make. Towards moves are actions that make your life better, richer, more meaningful. Things like calling a friend when you feel lonely or speaking up kindly in a meeting. Then you have away moves. These are the things that might feel good in the moment, but in the long run, they just make things worse. You know what I'm talking about. Procrastinating or getting lost in social media for hours just to avoid feeling stressed. We've all been there. Now, I know what you're thinking. If it's that easy, why don't we just make towards moves all the time? Good question. It's because life happens. Difficult thoughts and feelings show up, and they can pull us completely off track. This is what the ACT folks call getting hooked. It starts with just one thought, right? Something like this just pops into your head. And man, it feels so real. And then bam, another one piles on top, and they just start coming faster and faster, grabbing all your attention. And before you even know what's happened, you're completely tangled up. You feel overwhelmed, you feel stuck. That is the feeling of being hooked. And that right there, that is the heart of the problem. Because when we get hooked by all that difficult stuff inside, we almost always react with away moves. In fact, you can trace so many psychological struggles, from stress to anxiety to depression, back to this one single pattern. We get hooked, and then we do things that pull us even further away from the life we actually want. Okay, so how do we deal with this? How do we stop getting pulled so far off course? Well, the first step is to get a compass. And in ACT, your values are your compass. They're your true north, the thing that guides every single towards move you make. Your values are the answers to these big, important questions. Seriously, what kind of person, deep down, do you want to be? What do you want to stand for? Knowing this stuff, that's what gives you your destination. That's what gives your towards moves a purpose. But look, having a compass is pretty useless if your feet are stuck in cement, right? So the second part of the solution is learning the practical skills to get unstuck. We need to learn the art of unhooking ourselves when those difficult thoughts and feelings show up. And the good news is, it's a pretty simple 3-step process. Simple, but not always easy. First, just notice. Notice the thought or feeling that's hooking you. Second, acknowledge it. You don't have to like it or fight it. Just let it be there. Like, oh, hello, anxiety. I see you. And then, here's the magic part. Step 3, choose. With that feeling still hanging around, you choose a towards move that's guided by your values. So when that thought, I'm going to mess this up, hooks you, you notice it, acknowledge it, and then choose to open your notes and prepare anyway, because being prepared is important to you. And this brings us right back to where we started. See, this whole thing isn't about some magic trick to make bad feelings disappear. It's about changing your relationship with them so you can keep moving toward your destination no matter what. So the real takeaway here is this. A rich, full, and meaningful life doesn't come from being totally free of pain or worry. It comes from learning how to unhook from that stuff and consistently, day after day, choose the actions that truly matter to you, even when it's hard. So as we wrap this up, guess what? You're at a choice point, right now, listening to this, thinking about your own life. The real question isn't what you're feeling. The question is, what's your next move going to be? Which direction are you going to choose?